button. Second tangent, and then type in -2. You get -1.1. Okay. Now the problem is that it only gives you one answer. It can be. Oh, I see what you're saying, because you want it between 0 and 2 pi. You're absolutely right. Okay, so let's think about a unit circle. A unit circle starts at 0, and then over here it's like 3.14, right? And then back here it's like 6.28, etc. Up here is like 1 point, what would it be? 5.7. And no, 4.71. So that's the unit circle without pi's. Everybody okay with that? I'm just multiplying out pi's. All right, now where would -1.1 be? What quadrant? 4. It'd be like here somewhere. So if you just take, in your calculator right now, take 6.28 and subtract 1.1, that's your first answer. So your first answer is going to be 5.18. And it's okay if your answer doesn't have pi in it. Where would the other negative tangent be? Yeah, the opposite side, which is, when you say opposite, do you mean quadrant 2 or 3? 2, yes. So how do I find out what this one over here is then?
1.57 plus 1.1.
So I would take, well, no, because this distance right here was 1.1, remember? Which means that over here, this distance is 1.1, not that top distance. You're going to take 3.14 minus 1.1, and that gives you 2.04. So those are the 4 answers. All right, we got one more that we're going to try. Okay. Cotangent theta times cotangent theta plus 3 parentheses equals 1. Okay, can we set both of these equal to 0 immediately? No, how come? Because there's a 1 over there. Could we set them both equal to 1 immediately? No, because if I said something times something equals 1, does that mean that one of those things has to be 1? No. What are 2 things that multiply to get 1? Any 2 numbers that multiply to get 1. 1 times 1, but think of fractions. What fractions could you multiply to get 1? 2 times 1/2 would be 1. Everybody with me on that? 2 over 1 times 1 over 2 is 1, and neither of those are 1, right? So that this trick only works for 0. So the first thing I think we have to do is distribute and then get everything on one side. So that becomes cotangent squared theta plus 3 cotangent theta, and then I'm just going to minus 1 equals 0. Now what? Factor. Now here's the thing, guys. I know as a fact that this one doesn't factor. What do you do when it doesn't factor? What? Just quit? give up. We wrote the easiest thing ever to fix this.
Oh,
The quadratic program we wrote, remember? It just does it for you, remember that? Okay, all right, program. Nusquad. What's A? 1B? 3C? -1. I got 0.31 and negative 0.3 and negative 3.3. You guys get the same thing? Are those our answers? No, that is cotangent of theta equals that. Okay. Now, we could easily solve this if we had an inverse cotangent button, but we don't, do we? So how do we switch it into something that we could use? We can do tangent, sine, or cosine on our calculator. How can we relate, what'd you say? Tangent for sure, but how do we change this into tangent? How do you change cotangent into tangent? The reciprocal, just flip it upside down. So think about it over 1. So right now, in your calculator, you're gonna write tangent equals, and I want you to flip it, so you're gonna do 1 divided by 0.3 in your calculator right now. I got about 3.33. What should I do for the other one? 1 divided by 3.3. Right. So it's negative 0.303. And now you can do inverse tangent. You guys getting the same thing? Okay. But we've got to get all of the answers, so I'm thinking about a unit circle now. What quadrant is 1.28 in? First quadrant, yep, about here, 1.28. Does everybody know why I know that that's in there? Because going up right here would be like 1.57, that would be pi over 2. Okay, so 1.28 must be before that. So the other answer is down here. So if this distance is 1.28 and then that distance is 1.28, how do I find out this one? 3.14 plus 1.28 in your calculator. So the other answer I got is 4.42 for this one. Okay, where's negative 0.29? Fourth quadrant right there, but we don't want it to be negative, so we'll put it up here. Well, no, we won't put it up there. I don't know why I said that. So this is what, negative 0.29. So if we're trying to find that out, this distance is 0.29, and this was what, 6.28, right? So if you take 6.28 and you subtract 0.29, I don't know why I was about to do it. 5.99? Where's the other one? Other one should be over here. So you have to add 0.29 for this one, or I guess subtract it from 3.14. And I got 2.85 for the other one.